Welcome back to The Big Pick and Littel Fockers, the third film in the comedy series that started with Meet the Parents in 2000. Now, an American critic, Elizabeth Weitzman, has summed up this film very succinctly and appropriately as a cheerfully forgettable experience rather than a memorably miserable one. I thought the Littel Fockers had some truly nice moments, but on the whole it was a tiring, repetitive and stale experience. Honestly, this series should end with this. Any more sequels and that would be flogging the whole darn thing a bit too much. Jack Burns is an ex-spook with now a bit of heart trouble. He wants his son-in-law, Gaylord Focker, to fill in his shoes, but is not completely convinced that Gay can handle this weighty responsibility of becoming the next patriarch of the Burns family. Gay, of course, thinks he can and wants to and will prove to his doubting father-in-law that he is indeed the man of the house, the doting husband, the stern yet affectionate father, and the rock-solid financial backbone of the family. Unfortunately for Gay, lots of things begin to go wrong. Why, in fact, everything begins to go wrong when his parents-in-law come to visit the Fockers for the celebration of the Littel Fockers twins' birthday. It seems like Gay is having an extramarital affair. It seems like he's having financial problems. It seems like there's no more excitement in his marriage. And to make matters worse, his wife's ex-boyfriend shows up at their home and he seems like a noble, responsible, caring and sensitive man in comparison to Gay. So Papa Burns begins not only to spy on his son-in-law, but even seriously encourages his daughter to dump her husband and get together with her ex-boyfriend.
Hey, what's a good word, Grandpa Jack?
This is Jack Burns.
Yeah, I know. I could tell from the caller ID.
Dina and I will be there in approximately 18 seconds.
I'm so excited to see those little Fockers.
Gobble, gobble, everybody. It's turkey time.
Jack, if you would do the honors.
You're the turkey carver now, Greg.
Thank you, Jack. It's an honor.
I got myself an obsession.
I'm watching you.
Well, I have eyes too. So I'll be watching you, watching me.
Scope for great situational humor, but everything is ruined because of too many sexual and oftentimes distasteful humor. And too much of that can begin to irritate, no, after a while. There's a bit of that contrast humor though, which is nice. The Fockers are fun-loving Jews. Streisand plays the host of a TV show on sex, for crying out loud, and her husband goes off, Dustin Hoffman, he goes off to Spain to learn the flamenco. While the Burns, or rather Jack Burns, is an uptight Gentile whose antenna is always up because he just can't relax and trust. What a cast, I say. Robert De Niro outdoes a dozen suspicious wives put together. He's a riot. Ben Stiller matches him antic for antic.
Hello, Greg. You mind explaining this?
Jack, did you take one of those pills?
What do you mean?
If you've had that for more than 4 hours, you gotta get to an ER and get you a shot.
There's no way I'm going to an emergency room with this thing. You need to stick me, and you need to stick me now.
I'm not comfortable giving you, I'm not gonna, no.
Blythe Danner as Mama Byrne is most lovely and warm and charming as she is in every movie I've seen her. Dustin Hoffman and Barbara Streisand as Mama and Papa Focker are hilarious. Owen Wilson as the free-spirited Kevin, but actually lonely ex-boyfriend of Pam, is well cast, but isn't really one of my favorite actors. Jessica Alba looks positively ravishing, but is wasted in her role. She gets on your nerves too after a bit when she becomes the wild, sex-crazed animal who pounces on Stiller, uttering what sound like war cries. Harvey Keitel is even more wasted in his role as a contractor.
You've got to give a little love. Give a little love. Go on, just do it. You can't abuse it. Give a little love.
I want you to represent our new drug, Sustengo.
It's an erectile dysfunction medicine.
You know any sexually frustrated old dudes?
Director Jay Roach's mantle sits a bit too heavily on Paul White's shoulders. If you remember, Jay Roach directed the first 2 films in the series. Maybe he should have done a Jack Burns on Paul White's. So I give the film 1.5 stars and would say that watch it if you have nothing at all better to do. Now, last week's winner of a Big Home DVD is Deepu Anthony. Congrats, Deepu, and do send us your mailing address so we can send you a DVD. This week my question is, name another film starring Owen Wilson. Simple one that. Name another film starring Owen Wilson. The first one to write into feedback at ndtv-hindu.com gets a Big Home video DVD, so do hurry. Until I see you next week, take care and bye.
கன்னித்தீவு பொன்னா கட்டெரும்பு கண்ணா கட்டு மர துடுப்ப போல இடுப்ப ஆட்டுறா இவ கள்ளுப்பான உதட்ட காட்டி கடுப்பு ஏத்துறா மத்தாப்பு போல